Welcome to Chez, Genèse, the place of new beginnings. My name is Catherine Hubert, and I founded and own a French-inspired cafe where, as a team, we are on a mission to change the way our world views and employs adults with disabilities. Our restaurant was born and is based in Greensboro, North Carolina, and that's where we practice and teach our mission and model. This is our channel where we dive in deep to who we are, what we do, and why we do it. Our hope is that this content is empowering to disabled and non-disabled humans alike, and that no matter what perspective you are coming from, whether that's employer, employee, parent, friend, or Chez Genèse fan, you feel welcomed, you learn something new, and you walk away with a deeper appreciation and understanding of humanity. Hey everybody, welcome back. I am excited to be bringing you our last YouTube video of 2023. And then we're going to be taking a week or two off around Christmas and New Year's, and then we'll be back in 2024. So in anticipation of closing this year out and jumping into the new year, we wanted to take a minute and just reflect on some things that we are really thankful for as a business this year, and then kind of lay some groundwork or present some goals that we have for 2024 and how you can be involved in those goals with us. So I'm going to pause for just a second because I forgot that the chairs are up behind me, and that's kind of driving me crazy that they're sticking up. I'm going to switch those real fast. Okay, we're back. So, what are we thankful for in 2023? There are a lot of things that we are thankful for. I'm going to hit just a few of the highlights, but know that this does not in any way cover everything that we feel thankful for. But we're going to go kind of in chronological order, so starting at the beginning of the year and then working our way through it. So, the first thing that we are thankful for is getting to see our Compass students graduate earlier this spring. If you didn't know, we had a sister nonprofit for a couple of years called Compass Greensboro, and it was a training program for adults with disabilities who are seeking work in the hospitality or restaurant industry. So it was twofold. We worked with businesses and did some training and coaching with some of the local businesses in Greensboro, and then also did hands-on training with our students or adults with disabilities. For a series of months, they did some classroom time, working more on like disability language, understanding, advocacy, disclosure, things like that, and then hands-on restaurant training either in our kitchen or for service staff to get them ready and prepared to go into a job in a restaurant for the first time. So we graduated our students this spring. It was really exciting to see them grow in their own self-appreciation and their self-confidence, to step into some new jobs. And it also meant a transition time for us with our nonprofit and with the Compass Greensboro program. So instead of moving forward, instead of being focused on student and employee training, we are working on employer coaching and training. And part of that was recognizing through the process of starting this organization and working with students that really the biggest need in our community right now is still training and coaching businesses to be more inclusive and adaptive to employees with disabilities, that until we really kind of break down some of those barriers and bridge some of the gaps, then we are still training up employees to work in jobs or places where they may still not be welcomed or have the accessibility needs that they do have met. So we're shifting. That was a bittersweet thing to kind of close a chapter for now on the student training that we're doing and shift more to businesses, but is something that we are ultimately excited about and feel like will be a good step for us and for our city. Number two, tagging along with that, we have gotten to teach some education and advocacy workshops this year, not only on site for people within our own Chez Genèse community, but also off-site for other organizations and businesses here in Greensboro. So that's been a win. It's helped us to develop some curriculum, to get feedback, to practice. We've been doing that as a team. So usually myself and 2 or 3 other teammates are part of leading those workshops. It's important that disability voices are heard during those workshops, and that's something that we feel really thankful for that we got to step into over this year. Lastly, we were so excited to turn 5 years old this year. So that was at the end of October. 5 years is a milestone no matter what, but especially in the restaurant world, and then a restaurant where we walked through COVID at a very young age. We just don't take for granted any of the years of business that we've gotten to have. And this particularly felt like a really big moment to get to. It feels like there's a little bit of maturity to the business, to our team. Our feet are more firmly planted in what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so I think that just gives a sense of thankfulness for the many hands, the many hearts that have been part of building this business, that have sustained it, and then a lot of hope for the future and what our lives are going to be like. So what are we dreaming of this coming year? Well, as we step into 2024, I think that we are further committed and established in our mission to change the way that our world both views and employs people with disabilities. There are many different ways that we already go about that and that we plan to continue going about that. But two of the big ones are, number one, providing an exceptional experience for people when they come into our space. So that's through our food, that's through our service, that's through the environment and the ambiance that we create here in our space. That's important for many reasons, one of which being I want my team to just be really, really proud of where they work and know that they were not offered a second-rate job by any means. And number two, it does change the bias and the stereotype that a lot of people hold, which is that it's difficult for a person with a disability to do good work or to do work that you would expect from a non-disabled person. And so we want to continue to break that myth and that stereotype and show that non-disabled humans and disabled humans are both very capable and able to provide excellent work and contribute to our work environments and to our societies. And we feel like running a business that is welcoming and that provides amazing product and great service is part of changing those beliefs. Other ways that we want to change and continue to break down barriers, especially around disability employment, are by one, increasing and growing our online presence and our following. This is important because the work that we're doing doesn't apply just to our Greensboro community. That's the community that we reach the most right now because that is where we are planted. But thanks to the beauty of the online world, there's an infinite number of people, maybe not infinite, there's a lot of people that we could reach that we're not currently reaching. So some of the goals that we have are growing this YouTube channel and increasing the number of subscribers that we have. Thank you for being part of meeting that goal if you already subscribe to us, and if you don't, you can help us meet that goal by doing that. Our goal this year was to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we are at almost 250. So we have modified our goals, and for 2024, we would like to get to 500 subscribers. We would like to double what we have now. But again, that just gets our content in front of more eyeballs. It will eventually help us to get paid for the content that we are making too. And then it'll kind of get us into that YouTube algorithm where it'll start to snowball and other people who have never had any contact with us will learn about what we're doing. Number two, we also want to grow our Instagram followers. That's another way that we reach people and a place where people get to regularly tap in to more of the day-to-day restaurant happenings and environment. This channel is great for more of the mission, purpose, disability specific content, but our Instagram shows a lot more of just the day-to-day happenings in the restaurant and things that are going on. So if you're interested in that too and don't already follow us there, you can do that. And then joining our newsletter, growing our newsletter list. So these are all kind of the online ways that we are wanting to grow our base and our foundation and get the word out more. And if you're not already doing that, you can help us in that way. And then another component to that is that we're starting to increase some of our merchandise and making that available on online platforms where people outside of Greensboro can purchase t-shirts and tote bags and sweatshirts and all that kind of stuff from us, which again, just helps us out in terms of being a little business that, grows the profit line a little bit, the profit margin, but also then just gets our content and our logo out in front of and for new audiences. So those are some of the online ways that we are hoping to grow. Some of the things that we're hoping to still do with our brick and mortar business literally has to do with the brick and mortar. We want to work towards buying the building that we're in. So right now we are renting the first floor and we have the restaurant space, and then we also have classroom and office space that also doubles as a second event space. So We are wanting to, over the next few years, actually develop a building purchase plan and a capital campaign in order to purchase this building and to restore the upper floors, which goes hand in hand with this other goal of starting to take the education and advocacy piece of who we are, especially the teaching and the training, and take that outside of Greensboro and start speaking on a national level. The hope is that we will convert this building, the upper floors, into lodging spaces. Think like European hostel, like Chez, Genèse, but you can stay here. So all of the same kind of happy vibes with the plants and all the natural textures and the things that you enjoy about our restaurant space, but in more like hostel or hotel room style spaces. The hope is that as we are taking myself and our team across the US, we're speaking, we're training, we're getting people excited about the work that we're doing, then we can bring groups back here for quarterly conferences or retreats. People will stay here, they'll get immersed in our business model, they'll get to meet our team, they'll get to see how we operate, and they'll get to firsthand about the policies, the practices, the beliefs and the mission that we have, and then take that back to their own cities and their own businesses and their own spheres and make changes there. So we want to stay based in Greensboro, but we want to see the work that we are doing and the passion that we have for changing disability employment happen worldwide. So those are some of the big dreams there that we are hoping to step into more in this coming year. All of that to say, how can you be involved? How can you help us meet those goals? We've already mentioned a few of them. Subscribe to this channel, follow us on Instagram, sign up to be a part of our newsletter. Helping us spread the word, actually engaging with our content, asking us questions, sharing what we're doing, helping to spread the word that way is super helpful. We can only self-promote so much. A lot of growth comes from viewers and people who are absorbing our content, actually talking about it and sharing it. So being part of that network is amazing. And then obviously, if you are in Greensboro, or if you're not and you travel here occasionally, then come see us. We would love to feed you. Visiting us and actually purchasing meals here and being part of just our day-to-day life is a huge part of sustaining us and also helps to propel our mission, keep us strong. And it's just one of the things, this should have been earlier in the video when I was talking about things that I'm thankful for, but truly, one of the biggest gifts of being a small business owner and being in particular a restaurant owner is just getting to have this really unique perspective to the lives of so many people and kind of this opportunity to interact with and do life side by side with so many different people, and we get to see people get married, we get to see people have kids, we get to be with people when they go through times of loss and grief, and food is, I think, a powerful way of uniting and restoring and celebrating and nurturing and providing for people. So getting to do that, like day-to-day living, is the thing I think that motivates all of us on this team to come to work, to give it our best. So getting to have you be part of that with us is such a wonderful thing. So I think that's it. We've got big hopes and dreams for 2024. We're taking them one step at a time. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you in the new year.